Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this exclusive and private VIP broadcast. My name is Darren Little from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. And if you are in a situation right now with the COVID crisis, you're in the right place tonight, guys. Because what happened was that last month, I put out a post on Facebook on how I was able to start a business online with less than $2,000 in a very short period of time, make over $347,000 in profit. Okay, without spending any money on paid ads. I'm talking about just using the power of the internet and the power of social media. Now, you may be in a situation right now where you're either in network marketing, you're with a direct sales company, you're with an MLM or an affiliate marketing company, or you're an online marketer and you're trying to get liftoff. You're trying to get traction in your business, but you just can't get the rubber to hit the road, I call it, right? So you can't get your business into cash flow. And I can tell you this, that is a big challenge for an entrepreneur if your business is not generating any type of money. And it can get very, very frustrating. And the challenge when people get into our industry, truth be known, they're never actually properly trained on the distinction between the corporate America business model and the network marketing business model. So they try to take what they know in corporate America and bridge it over into our particular business model. And it just doesn't work, guys. They don't get the results that they're looking for. So what they end up doing is hopping from one company to the next company to the next company, thinking that that's going to be the ticket to the promised land. When the truth is, what they really need is to get mentored on how the industry actually works, okay? So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to take you a little bit behind the scenes, okay? And I want to share with you some value on tonight's broadcast so that you know the distinction between what most people do and what the seven-figure income earners do, and why they always make money and why they get to the top of the leaderboards in every single thing that they roll out. Literally to the point where they can make money on demand from anywhere in the world, that they have a laptop computer and a Wi-Fi connection. Okay, that's all that you really need. Now, in the event that you want to go one step further into freedom, I obviously recommend as well a smartphone, right? Whether it's an iPhone or a Samsung or whatever. But a lot of the stuff that I do might be in a restaurant, or I'm out and about and I'm actually just using this, right, while I'm away from my computer, because social media, this really is the power, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to go live, and I'm going to give you a little bit of training and stuff and mindset stuff on the front end. And then I'm going to bridge over and I'm going to show you the actual vehicle that I used in order to get these type of results. Okay? Are you ready? Are you ready? Buckle up, guys, because we're going to go for a ride. Okay, so I'm just going to share my screen. And here we go. Okay, so this right here is the Cash Boom Bang webinar. I want to be able to show you how you can generate $1,000 instant commissions, okay, paid in real time the same day that you make a sale. Now, a little bit about myself. That's me with my son, Drayson. I'm a father, I'm an author, I'm a speaker, and I'm an online marketer. You may have actually seen or know this gentleman, Dr. Joe Vitale. I recently wrote a chapter in his book called The Abundance Factor. And then I also wrote the feature story in Chicken Soup for the Network Marketer's Soul, which I can tell you is a great leadership bonus to give to your leaders for various rank achievements. And the irony of this story, guys, it's actually a story about me and my son, who's now 21 years old, who ended up following in my footsteps, which is actually the name of the particular chapter. And it's kind of like the power of manifestation. It all came to real life, which is really phenomenal. I'm super, super proud of them. So I want you to imagine yourself in this type of environment, okay? Because this type of environment is really truly what everybody dreams about in order to be able to live what I call the laptop lifestyle. And I'm going to show you how I started a business with less than $2,000, and I made $347,350 without spending a single penny on paid ads. So what I want for you to do is I want for you to picture yourself right here. Because in one particular situation, when I took off to Maui, I went away for a month. My parents typically go away to Maui for 6 months of the year, and I went to visit them for a month. And while sitting in a little lounge chair like that by the pool, I was able to generate $40,000 just with a Wi-Fi connection and my laptop. Now, if you stick around to the very end of this presentation, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give away a copy of my training manual. It breaks a lot of this stuff down with graphs and visuals and explanations. It's valued at $197. I'm going to give that to you tonight for free. Plus, you're going to be able to hear directly from one of my students live. Okay, you're going to be able to hear his live story on how he was able to, with no previous marketing experience, generate $23,000 his very, very first month following the 7-figure formula that we teach. Now, do any of these things sound like you? Okay, so you might be in a situation where you just need to generate cash flow fast. With COVID going on, you may have lost your job, maybe you're in MLM, or you just need cash right now. Okay, you can't wait for 2 months, right? A lot of network marketing companies, there's a delay in payment, but you need money today. You might be a person that is thinking about getting into the network marketing industry, but you've heard about this whole thing about harassing your friends and family, and you just don't want to do it, right? That's what really turned me off when they told me that that's what I had to do. That's what pushed me onto the internet. Now, you may be in a situation where they've all told you already to go fly a kite. So you may just not want to have that rejection from your peers or your friends and family. You may be in a situation where you just don't know how to generate what I call red hot targeted leads and have a steady stream of qualified buyers that are looking at your business opportunity daily. Or you may be in a position where you just can't seem to close the people or upsell them to higher ticket products. So maybe you already know how to generate leads, but you just can't convert them into cash flow for your particular business. Maybe you just don't know how to get any team duplication. So maybe you can recruit, but nobody on your team can recruit. Nobody gets duplication. So you don't really have walkaway residual income. You just basically have a job, right? And that can be very, very frustrating. You also might be in a position where you see all of these other people that their names are rising up on top of the leaderboards and you just can't seem to get there. And that can become very, very frustrating, especially when you're working a lot of hours. Like I see some people, on social media for 12, 15, 18 hours a day, maybe doing all-nighters, but they just can't see their name on the top of the leaderboards because they can't generate results. You might be in a position where you just don't understand how exactly do you become the attractor factor? How do you get your phone ringing with incoming calls? How do you get people reaching out to you on social media saying, hey, what do you do? I want to find out more about what you do. Now, this is what most people do, okay? They actually do it backwards. And quite honestly, the network marketing industry is really the only industry where this actually happens. It doesn't happen if you're going to be an engineer, a doctor, an accountant, a lawyer. It doesn't, even if you're a waiter, okay? You always typically learn the skill, get the training, and then go and apply it and start making money with it. We're in an industry where people actually do it backwards. So what they do is they start a business, they get totally rejected by their friends and family, okay, which is very, very frustrating, and it actually lowers your confidence and self-esteem. And then they try and figure out after the fact, after they've gone and spent all their money, how are they going to actually make money with their business? Okay. And that's very, very frustrating. Now, the smart way to actually do it is to learn the distinction, learn how to market, learn how to generate leads, learn how to sell products, and learn how to recruit new reps into your business. And then what happens is you can actually not only market anything, but most of my students have between 5 and 7 different streams of income. So once you actually learn these concepts, you can apply them to your MLM company. You can actually, we have people that have applied this to door-to-door sales and even getting pay raises, job promotions, and launching their own companies and raising venture capital based upon what they learn here. Now, I want to talk to you really about being able to live a life that you've always dreamed of. And it's important that once you get to that point, 2 things. Number one, that you can always remain humble and that you can always remain grateful. Okay. And I say this all the time, and people say, oh, Darren, I'd never be like that, until they actually make, $250,000, $500,000, or $750,000, or $1 million. And then boom, the ego takes over. So keep that in mind. My goal here is to be able to help another 50 families add an extra $100,000 to their annual incomes. Okay. Now, I will tell you that the fastest student so far, right, has done it in 4 months. So I can tell you that it's very, very achievable to be able to do it in 12 months, certainly within 24 months. But the best story that we've ever had was 4 months. One gentleman who was very highly coachable, he was able to do it in 4 months. Now, I'm not going to guarantee that you're going to be able to do that. I'm sharing this with you in hopes to inspire you so that you realize that it actually is possible. And it doesn't matter if you have a lot of skills in marketing as long as you're coachable. Now, I've already helped my team earn over $4 million in team commissions with just one income stream. Most of them branch off. They may have an affiliate. There may be an affiliate marketing or a network marketing company or online marketing, and they have multiple different streams of income. But in this particular vehicle that we're going to be talking about tonight, I've helped my team generate over $4 million. Now, I want you to really think about this, guys, because when you book a vacation and you go buy your airfare tickets, I can tell you that the very first time that you sit in business class, the very first time that you go on a long trip and you can actually afford that ticket, it will completely change your life. It will completely change your perspective on your self-worth. Do you feel worthy and deserving of more, of the abundance factor, right? And it's such a difference. One single time of experiencing that will completely, totally change your life. Being able to hop on a plane anytime you want, go away for however long you want, whether it's by yourself or with friends or with family, but just being able to have that freedom is life-changing. Now, I'm a baby boomer myself. I was born in 1964. My parents are starting to get older. They're in their 80s now. My dad just turned 82. My mom's going to be 80 this December. And to be able to have that free time, to be able to spend this quality time with them now, we don't know. Like, I don't know how long they have left. None of us know, right? And to be in a position where you have that freedom is really life-changing. In this particular photo, that's me and my business partner, Ari Maccabee. I flew to Manila. I was there for 2.5 months. We were putting together some content for an online training program that we're doing right now. This was some 7- and 8-figure income earners. You probably recognize Mac Mills, Pete Delmonico, top marketers in the industry. I flew to San Diego and had a chance to spend the entire day, lunch and brainstorming and whatnot, which is great. That was when I went to Hawaii. I had dinner with T. Harv Eker from Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. Him and his wife there went up to their property, got the big tour of his property over on Maui, which was an amazing thing. And to be able to have that, once you have freedom, then you can really truly focus on valuable relationships, right? Being able to go out to restaurants and have incredible food, that was in Maui. Being able to go to, going on adventure, That's what makes life exciting. Being able to see the most incredible sunsets and being able to set milestones or goals. This is another goal that I just was able to achieve. I end up getting one of my goals and one of my dream cars this year, which was an AMG GTS Mercedes. Just I'm so grateful. I'm so humbled and so grateful that I just stuck to it. And I just kept on being persistent, and I just never gave up. Okay. And I want you to know that as long as you do not give up, that you can have this too, right? I'm just a regular guy. I didn't know how to use a computer. I never took typing in school. I still type with 2 fingers as a chicken pecker typer. So it's possible for anyone. Now, what would it be like for you if in a 30-day period of time, you could generate over $165,000, or in a 7-day week, generate over 26 grand, or 39,000 was actually a record week that particular week there. In this particular situation, actually generated about just over $30,000 in a single day. So I will tell you that there is light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, the fast track is by somebody showing you exactly how it works and what are the action steps that you need to take so that you can start to make money. That's just one particular PayPal account. I always believe that documentation beats conversation, so I like to just show people the actual behind the scenes of the account logged into so you can actually see the numbers. But it's not just me, guys. Okay, this is a great story. Jay Alfredo, this is a phenomenal transformation because he'd actually just gotten out of prison. Okay, and he couldn't get a job. Right, he couldn't get a job. He had a criminal record. He finally got a job with AT&T. He was making $160 per month, working full time. He was so far in debt. He'd been borrowing, money from friends and family just for groceries. And he finally hit his breaking point. He went back to the people one last time and he said, I got a chance to get into millionaire mentoring. Will you back me? He went to a bunch of friends. He got $100 from each person. He raised the money. And what ended up happening is in less than his first 2 years, he made $192,000, and now he's well past $300,000. Okay, I don't think he's even at the 3-year mark right now. So that is definite what I call a rags to riches story. Here's another one right here. Great story. This is a gentleman, a great friend of mine, Billy Anellis. His passion was music. He had a big dream. He got suckered down the path of upgrade, buy more traffic and whatnot, maxed out his credit cards, using his entire savings account. And he was washing and detailing cars just to support his family. His very first year, he made 140 grand. And now he owns his own music business. And he built a house, right? He's got his own house now, but he's got real estate. And now he's got 7-figure clients of his own. Okay, so this is another what I would call a rags to riches story. This is an amazing story here, guys, because Civi was 100 grand in debt. He was living in Boracay. He was only making about $1,000 a month doing some consulting work for hotels. He went there for the freedom and the tropical thing, and he just ended up being stuck. Right, he was doing beach events, right? So he was kind of like a little bit of a celebrity there. All the bigwigs and everybody knew him, but he just wasn't making enough money, and he got further and further and further in debt. And then he got to the point where he started to get some suicidal thoughts, right? He was not in a good way. Okay, he got into millionaire mentoring, and in less than 20 months, he's done over $1 million in sales, and he launched his own podcast where he's number 2 next to Gary Vaynerchuk. This is another great story. Jennifer and Jose, 6 children. They went from 2 days with no water and eviction notice to now making $158,000 their first year online. Jennifer has been featured in a book. She's the admin for ClickFunnels, which you probably know is an industry name brand with Russell Brunson. And she's one of the guest speakers with Facebook. Okay, she just spoke for Facebook on being an admin. They took her on as a guest speaker. And another great rags to riches stories. They actually have their own advertising agency now from what they learned. Now, I want to talk to you about the 3 myths, okay? These 3 myths are actually what hold a lot of people back in our industry. They get kind of lured or suckered in by people that just give them fabricated stories, okay? It's complete BS, and I want you to know that you got to be able to realize that you've got to get over this stuff right here, okay? The first myth, number 1, is that your products are going to sell themselves, okay? Now, if somebody tells you this, that the products are going to sell themselves, you need to run for the hills, okay? All they want is to get your credit card. They're not going to sell themselves. If you believe this, you'll end up with not only a garage or spare bedroom filled with products, but you've got to realize that people sell products, okay? People do. It's relationships, it's connections, it's helping people to solve their pain. You know, if this myth was actually true, every single person in the industry would be successful. You know, there's tons of great companies out there, there's tons of great products, but the failure rate is still at 97% industry-wide. Okay, this is fact, guys. You can go on any company and find the industry stats. It's 97% failure rate, okay? So if you want to become a top earner, you got to master a couple things. You got to master marketing skills, you got to master sales skills, and you got to master people skills, okay? Or the commodity is people. Myth number 2 is that your friends and family are going to make you rich. Most MLM companies teach the top 200 list. Hey, just make a list of your friends and family. Reach out to them, share your product story. Get them to try your products, and in no time, you'll be rich. Woohoo! Doesn't work, okay? It doesn't work that way. The truth is the majority of those people are going to tell you to go fly a kite. They're going to say, why would you ever do that? You're involved in a Ponzi. Oh my God, you get ripped off, right? And they're not sold themselves on MLM and direct sales, okay? So they're not a qualified buyer, okay? They're not a qualified buyer. The only people that go actually and bridge from corporate America into the MLM or direct sales industry, they're either in a state of transition in their life, a state of transition, or they've reached what's called a breaking point, okay, or a combination of transition and breaking point. So the question is, does that sound like you? Are you in that zone yourself? Because those are the people that typically go to the top the fastest. They don't need any convincing. They already get it, but they're ready to make the bridge, okay? All they need is the right training and the right mindset. Now, myth number 3 is that you only need 2 to 5 people, okay? Do not believe the BS, okay? Now, depending on the type of comp plan, some companies are going to tell you that, hey, you just got to get 2 people. That's if it's a binary comp plan. Or, hey, you just need 5 people. I mean, how hard can it be to get 5 people, they tell you, okay, if it's a unilevel comp plan. But in order to gain momentum and team duplication and traction and massive, like coming out of the gate, bam, okay, you got to have the right type of people. Number 1, they got to be self-starters. Number 2, they need to be leaders. And number 3, they need to be marketers, okay? That's if you want to come right out of the gate and go bam, okay? Like you see some of these people, they start their business in the first month, they're already making 10, 15, 20 grand a month. How is that possible? Because they've got relationships with people that are already sold on the business model. And once you understand how it works, it's much easier to attract them. In order to attract the one, you got to be the one. This means focusing on personal development, mindset, honing your skills in marketing, sales, and leadership, guys. It's actually a personal development leadership business model, which is completely different than the corporate America business model. They're like apples and oranges, okay? So don't think that you can just go from corporate America, being a top salesperson over there, and bridge over into our industry and boom, come right out of the gate. Even if you recruit a lot of people, you'll get 0 duplication, okay? 0 duplication if you take corporate America skills and transfer over. So keep that in mind. Truth number 1. Your products need to work, okay? But they're not the most important thing. So what do I mean by that? It's really important that your products or services work, okay? But they don't have to be the best in the world, okay, in order for you to make 7 or 8 figures, okay? They just have to work. So if you're with a weight loss company, as an example, you don't have to have the best weight loss product in the world, as long as they get results, as long as they get people results, okay? A great example of this in corporate America would be McDonald's. You know, they don't necessarily make the best hamburger, but their product is consistent. Okay, any McDonald's that you go to around the world, you know exactly what you're going to get when you order Big Mac and fries. Okay, that is their formula. That is their blueprint. Consistency, you know what you're going to get. You know what it's going to taste like. Okay, it doesn't have to be the best. Truth number 2, your products have to be competitively priced in the marketplace. What does that mean? Okay, what does that mean? But even with that, it's not the most important thing, guys. Okay, so people think that their price point is going to get them into riches, and it's not. So in other words, if you can buy your MLM juice at Costco for $9.99 per bottle, okay, I'm going to use like Zango as an example. So you know, you go to you can get the goji berry juice or whatever. I can't remember what they were marketing, but with some you can buy it at Costco, okay? And you know, it wasn't their thing with exactly the thing, but people got results from it. But now people get their Visa bill and they see the $60 a bottle MLM product. Guess what's the first thing coming off when hard times hit? Your company is coming off, okay? That is the first thing they take off their budget, so keep that in mind. Your product's got to be competitively priced in the marketplace. You can't go to a dollar store and buy a pen for 99 cents, but your MLM company sells it for $100. Okay, it's not going to work. So keep that in mind. Okay, your compensation plan needs to be fair. Okay, needs to be fair. That means it motivates and excites people, but the compensation plan isn't the most important thing. A lot of people say that their products are most important. No, the comp plan's most important. No, our price point's better. It has nothing to do with any of those things. If you want to gain the most amount of momentum in your business, the commissions just need to be worthwhile for you. Okay, something that can motivate and excite you. In most cases, commissions can range between 5% and 50%. But the best case scenario is if you have a product that you sell and you get 100% of the retail price of the profit. Now, a lot of times, once you learn a lot of skills and you create your own products, you would be getting 100% of that retail price of the product, less the cost of ad cost, right? So that means if a product retails for $1,000 and you sell it, you get $1,000. I mean, that's the ideal situation. Now, what that allows you to do is make the most amount of money for the least amount of effort. And that's truly what people want. So what's the most important thing? Okay, you're probably wondering, well, what is the most important thing then, Darren? What is it? What is it? Okay, so once you know that these things are true, your products work, they're competitively priced, your compensation plan is fair, you got to move them aside. You got to realize that what people really actually want is the blueprint. The blueprint. How do I make money with your thing? How do I make money with that weight loss? How do I make money with your Forex deal, your Bitcoin deal? Show me how to make money. Okay, that's what they want to know. They want to know how to make money. So it's not about the product, price point, comp plan, or the features and benefits of it. It's about being able to solve the pain of the market, the qualified buyers, okay, the people that are already sold. And that requires 2 things, leadership skills and marketing skills. So keep this in mind in any company that you're currently in right now. Now, you may or may not know this because you may see a lot of these companies and you may recognize the names like Melaleuca or Primerica or Amway, New Skin, Isogenics, Herbalife, right? A lot of these are name brand companies, but did you know that only 0.1% of all of them, okay, all of them, all their reps earn more than $400 per month. 0.1%, guys. Okay, now the numbers are shocking. Okay, truth be known, right? But like people ask us all the time this one question, and that's this: how's this possible? How is it possible for us to have students that make as much as $45,000 their very first month? Even people that have never marketed before or made a penny online. How can we do that? Here's how. What's the secret? We teach people the actual 7-figure model that we do. Okay, so we help business owners in any business to learn how to, first of all, generate leads. And then how do you actually turn the leads into cash flow? So you got to be able to recruit reps. And you got to be able to sell your products. Otherwise, you get in problem. We typically look for the best possible commission structure with the most amount of value for the product. And typically getting paid 100% of the sale price of the product the same day, right, is the most ideal. What it does is it helps you to create a marketing budget for your business. It helps you to fund your higher ticket products. It helps you to go to the event, buy the airfare, do all the things that you need that are your operational expenses. And what it allows you to do at the same time is to train all of your reps on how to market, right? How do they fund their marketing campaign and build their list of qualified buyers for free and at a profit and raise the money that they need for their high ticket products. Now, what I want to do is I want to give you a visual so that you really sink this into your mind. Okay, so, and I'm going to use a high ticket example because some of these companies have high tickets of 2,000, 5,000, 10 grand, 25 grand, whatever. And what people do in a lot of times is they either take out a loan or they second mortgage their home or they drain their savings account. They invest all their money. They got no money left now. They buy those products in the training. And what they don't realize is that organic strategies, okay, learning free strategies with no mentorship is a 2 to 4 year learning curve. Okay, now typically the companies want you to go to quarterly events. So now you got airfare, another event ticket, and it drives people further and further and further down the rabbit hole eventually into bankruptcy. Now, most people say, well, once I make money, I'll reinvest it. The sad part is they never actually even get here. Okay, so they're stuck in the second zone, the free strategy zone, and they never make any money, right? And then they try and jump from one next thing to the next thing, thinking that that's going to be their ticket to the promised land, and it never is. Okay, it never is. So what do? Here's what we do. We have something on the front end that every single business owner needs. Okay, they got to learn how to generate leads. They got to learn how to close reps. They got to learn how to sell their products and upsell to higher ticket products. That is like a funding mechanism. So that thing builds your list, and it actually helps you to build your business for free and at a profit at the same time. So when I rolled out a test market, me and my business partner, we wanted to show people what we did. Now, I'm not going to tell you that I didn't bust my ass that month because I wanted to show people what was possible. But I generated 108 grand, right, in that month. And Ari generated almost like, I don't know, 130 grand or something like that. We did 240 grand in 35 days. Mind you, I had about 13 all-nighters, and I'm just going to be honest. But I wanted to get the number. The number was an important thing to me because I wanted to show people what was possible if they implemented this formula. Now, what ends up happening is that front-end ATM, now it funds your high-ticket products. It funds your ad campaign instead of your credit card. And this is where the distinction where you're using the ATM model versus the debt model. So what ends up happening is you've got no risk of your own personal capital after that. The business is paying for everything. So once you learn the skills, now what you've got is you got multiple revenue streams and you rise to the top of the leaderboards in record time because you actually know how the industry works. Okay, and that's the key. Now you got to have two things if you're going to be successful in any business. If you don't have these, you will go bankrupt, okay? If you're thinking about getting into our industry, okay? So you got to have leads and you got to have cash flow. If you take these two things away, your business will go bankrupt. Keep this in mind as an entrepreneur. Doesn't matter if it's offline too, same problems. So the question is, how do you generate leads and find qualified buyers, right? And how do you recruit reps and sell products? Okay, that right there, this is like literally putting a key into a lock and opening it up once you understand exactly how to do these two things. Okay, this is the key. So how do you hit mass market? How do you hit every one of the companies? This is how. You got to focus on these two key areas on the front end, not on your business on the front end. Your business comes on the back end. Okay, so you build your list of qualified buyers on the front, and then you market your MLM opportunity or whatever on the back end after you have your list, okay? So it's personal development and leadership and marketing strategies for any business. So anything within those two zones is going to build your list, okay? After you have your list built, you can build a relationship with those people. You can put them into a Facebook group. You can provide value to the people. They get a chance to get to know you as a leader. and then you invite them to a broadcast. That's the difference. Now, you got to have basically 4 things. Okay, you got to have a lead capture page to build your list. You've got to have something that's going to convert, a high converting sales offer, a funnel that puts them through an offer. Okay, and you got to have a follow-up campaign. Okay, so people typically don't buy the first time they see something, just so you know. Okay, I've had people that have followed me for months, half a year, multiple years, and finally, when the time's right, they give me a call and say, Darren, I'm ready to pull the trigger. Darren, I'm ready to get started. Let's go. Okay, so you got to have a follow-up campaign, and you need a millionaire mentor to show you the exact steps of what you actually need to do. Now, what we do is we leverage this particular, this is a vehicle that provides that. Okay, so it's basically an all-in-one system. It's designed for newbies all the way up to high-end, experienced marketers. And what it allows you to do is create the funding mechanism for the rest of your business. Okay, and the key thing is that when you work today, you get paid today. So in other words, you don't have to build your team up and wait for 6 to 8 weeks like most MLM companies. That's why it's a funding mechanism. You make a sale today, it's instant. Boom, you got $1,000 cash, boom, right in your account, and it's instantaneous. And now you can use that to now build your business. So this is kind of some of the stuff that as you become more of an advanced marketer, that you're going to realize that you got to have a way to capture a person's email, their name and their email. Right now, this comes with 15 different lead capture pages. This is just giving you an example of 6, so you can understand more about target marketing. Right, so maybe you're going for the retirement market. Maybe you're going for the single mom market. Right, maybe you're going for the young family market that just had the baby. Maybe you just want to target directly to financial freedom. So there's 15 different lead capture pages. And then the sales funnel itself is automated. That means when somebody says, hey, what do you do? All you've got to do is send out the link to the funnel, and it does all the selling and telling and explaining and everything for you. And then you just follow up. Hey, just want to follow up, see what you like best about what you saw, right? So it makes it easy for everybody to be able to have success. Now, mindset by far is what's going to make or break you to get to the 100 grand and then get on to $250,000, $500,000, million plus. Okay, like last year, my business partner Ari, he did 8 figures last year. He did about 15 million last year. So once you get into the right mindset, it's really all about vibrational resonance and understanding how to create your own reality. These are great reference points. Okay, like Ray Higdon. You've probably seen Ray Higdon. Evan Clausen is a great friend of mine, Amazon best-selling author. You may recognize Todd Falcone, right? Or Randy Schroeder, Josh Peak, Tracy Walker did a couple $1 million in Empower Network. When you get into their mindset, guys, I'm telling you, listening to the audios, it will completely, totally change how you look at your day. Okay, that's called the Legends series. And then what we want to be able to do is to take you behind the scenes and show you how to generate leads using these top marketing strategies. Like, how do you use WhatsApp? How do you generate leads with WhatsApp? What about Instagram? You see all these people they're touting these big income stories using Instagram. What are they doing? How do they do it? How do you set up your account? Right? What about Snapchat? Okay. What about LinkedIn? LinkedIn has a lot of professional people on it. Maybe that's your thing. Now, keep in mind, you only got to master one. Okay, for me, I mastered Facebook. I've figured out a way how to leverage Facebook with no paid ads. It's generated me over $2 million in Canadian funds just using my Facebook profile and a group. Okay, Facebook profile and a group. Okay, you might want to learn how to use Google AdSense, right? How to leverage that. What about email marketing? Maybe you want to learn how to copywrite, right? What about YouTube videos? All you got to do is master one, guys, one. This is the thing. People they diversify too fast. Master one single marketing strategy. One, get good at it. Okay, that's going to eventually become your special sauce. TikTok is really possible right now. I don't know how long it's going to be out. Donald Trump was talking about banning it. And then Facebook is probably one of the most popular. Facebook and Instagram, I would say, are probably the most popular. Then you've also got organic LinkedIn. Like, how do you create content that goes viral? Okay. What about paid traffic? Maybe you say, you know what, Darren, I just want to go direct to the eyeballs. How do I do paid traffic? What about how do I automate? Okay, like a lot of these tools that we use, like StreamYard, I show people how to do something with Profit Builder and Cookie Monster so that their whole team, like the page that you're on right now, may have a code added to the end so that the whole team can use it, right? So that's called automation. And then maybe some people like graphics, right? So they may like Pinterest, right? There's a whole section on lead generation. And then some people like these Facebook chatbots, right? Like Yennefer, she took a course in Facebook chatbots. Civi took a course in Facebook chatbots, and they've actually made automated sales with that, right? So they focused on one particular thing and mastered the skill. Latest Instagram training update and social media overview and LinkedIn ads, right? Now this vault here is really focused on getting you to understand how to become a top marketer, guys. And this is the key. This is the key. There's 69 additional digital products to be able to help you to become a master marketer. Now, I will tell you this, okay? Because I've actually been in some various different companies that sell marketing and mindset and masterminds and whatnot. And there's a lot of companies out there that actually charge a lot more than 25 grand to be able to get access to this type of training. There was one company called Digital Altitude that was selling their program for $57,000, guys. So that when I talk about high ticket, that's why I show that, the debt model versus the 7-figure model, because we show people how they can use the 7-figure model to raise that money for those high ticket products, right? And build their list at the same time. Now, you don't have to pay $25,000 for this, okay? This is the good news, okay? Now, you don't even have to pay 10 grand, right? And you don't even have to pay $5,000 to be able to master the skills. And this is the missing link for people, I'm telling you, that they end up spinning their wheels, jumping from company to company to company to company. You don't even have to pay $2,500, guys, okay? In the event that you take action, what you got to do is two things. Number one, you only pay $299 to get the reseller rights so that you're now the vendor, okay? You're the vendor, you're like the store. And then you pay $1,050 for the product. That gives you the entire library. Total is $1,349. And here's the cool thing. You earn $1,000 instant commissions, same day, okay, same day, daily, okay? And here's how this works. Your first sale that you do is what's called your qualifier. It's going to pass to your enroller for helping to train you. And then after you're qualified, all the remaining sales go directly to you instantly. Now, the same thing will happen for you. So if you built a team of 10 people and you train them, their first sale is going to roll up to you, and that would be leverage, okay? Leverage, that would generate you 10 grand, right? Those sales would roll up to you. That would be their qualifying sale. So it's a phenomenal way to create a funding mechanism for your business. Now, here's what I'm going to do tonight as a bonus, okay, for the action takers. Now, keep in mind, I'm only going to work with 50 people, okay? And every time I do this, I'm telling you, the spots go super fast. But as an incentive, what I'm going to do is a 3-hour training where I'm going to actually get on a Zoom with you, okay, with a group. And I'm going to take you behind the scenes. I'm going to talk about branding, content, setting up groups, chat, how to leverage from old school into new school. Okay, it's a $3,000 bonus, and it's going to be taking place in roughly around a month from now on Sunday, November 8th. Okay, now the one caveat is that you have to be activated before the Friday prior to that Sunday. So Friday, November 6th at midnight PST, you have to be active in order to qualify for the $3,000 bonus. Now, I can tell you this, it's live and it's interactive. It's not just me talking on a broadcast, it's me and you. And as I'm going along, you're going to be part of the process. And if you have questions along the way, it's live. Okay, it's live. It's like you and me having an actual chat. so that you can really understand the actual mindset of what you've got to be able to do to master these skills. Okay. Now, there's only going to be, this is for 50 families, guys. Okay. Now, like I said, the fastest time that anybody did it was in 4 months. Okay. We had one student that did 100 grand in 4 months. We had a 17-year-old kid that did 50 grand in 6 weeks. We had another guy that just got out of prison that made 28,500 his very first month. So it's very possible, but it's first come, first served. Okay, first come, first served. Now, the question is this. Doesn't matter what you're in right now. The question is, are you ready to master your marketing skills? Because that's the money. That's the money is the marketing skills. And are you ready to rise to the top of the leaderboards? Okay, and whatever company that you're in, guys, we got people in pretty much everything from weight loss and Forex and Bitcoin deals. Doesn't matter the company that you're in. But this is the gateway to learn how to become a top marketer. And are you ready to be able to learn how to recruit new reps into any business in 6 to 45 minutes? Now, people think that I'm kidding until they actually see me do it live. And their jaw drops. Their jaw drops when I'm 8 minutes in and somebody's pulling out the credit card. Okay, no joke. So here's what you got to do. Step 1, okay, is to pay the $2.99 for the reseller rights. Step 2 is once you're inside, purchase the G1000 product for $1,050. And what you got to do is click the link below underneath this video. Okay, click the link below, take action. And I promised you that I would give you a copy of my training manual that goes in more detail into this. You can go to darrenlittle.com and be able, there's a pop-up that comes up. It says, get a copy of my training manual, blah, blah, blah. So just go to darrenlittle.com. You can get that. And I want right now, I want you to actually get into the mind of one of my students, okay? He had a vision, he had a dream. He's only like 23 years old, but he really stepped into his power and stepped into leadership. And I want to introduce you to Samuel Mojica. Totally transformational. Okay, so let's get Samuel on here. Samuel!
Hey, man, thank you. Thank you, man. I'm picking up like crazy. I love it. I'm doing amazing.
Month 1. So Samuel, turn back the clock, my friend. I want you to share a little bit. I know that you were, a bread factory worker. I want you to go back to that time, share your story, and share what you had to really go through in order to finally hit that breaking point and take things to the next level.
Awesome. I'm happy to. So I want to take you back to the very. We're good? Awesome. So I want to take you back to the very beginning of my journey. It all happened when I was sitting in my room, just like I am today, and I heard somebody running towards my door. So a little bit scared, I turned around and I looked back and I heard a knock, a loud knock. It was my mom. She slammed the door open and she was screaming at me, telling me, Samuel, pack up all your things, pack up all your clothes, and pack up your computer. Put it on the car. Now I was like, Mom, what are you talking about? What's happening? So she didn't tell me. She just told me to pack everything up. So I packed everything up. I ran to the car. I put everything in the trunk. We slammed it down. And as we were backing away from the driveway, we must have driven maybe 2 miles. And my mom parks the car on one of the driveways, on one of the sidewalks. I look to my left and I see my mother break down crying in front of me. And right behind her was my little sister, who also broke down crying, watching her mom cry. It was at that moment when I was listening, my mom told me, Samuel, we just lost our home. And me, at that time, I was 21 years old. I had no money to my name. And I had to sit there knowing that I didn't even have the resources to feed my little sister or my mother. That was the lowest point in my life. So I remember later on that day, we went to my mom's best friend's house and I went up to the mirror and I remember looking at myself just like I'm looking at you. And I said, Samuel, look at me. Listen, you're never going to let this happen to your family again. For today, you have failed your family. This will never happen again. And that gave me the fire in my belly to finally pick up my bootstraps and get a job. So moving on to the bread factory. My first job ever was the bread factory. I was getting paid minimum wage. Now I remember walking in there, the smell of fresh bread hit my face, and I thought I liked the smell of bread until I had to deal with it for 12 hours a day, every single day, working like a slave. Now, at that bread factory, I learned the true power of work ethic. I also learned that working at the factory, I was basically a slave. I clock in, and I clock out 12 hours later. I get home, take a shower, eat, go to sleep, repeat. Literally had no life. I'm in my 20s and I have no life at all. But I needed to make money. I needed to pick myself so that I can actually help my mom and help my little sister and be a man in my family. So shortly after, about 6 months in, my feet started to hurt so bad. If you've ever worked at a fast food chain or at a factory, you know that pain that it feels like you're walking on glass, but you can't just sit down or you get fired because you're easily replaceable. So I had to stand up every day on that pain. And my lower back at 21, my lower back hurt so much that I had to sleep on my stomach, because I couldn't bear the pain on my lower back. I knew something had to change. I knew there had to be a better way. So I remember that night I went onto Google and I searched up, how do you make money online? I know people are making money online. I know this because I've been buying stuff from Amazon for years. There's people making money online. Now, I remember this. Now, this is what got me to believe in the universe. I could have stumbled upon anybody. I stumbled upon a training just like this. Now, I attended the webinar and I heard Darren talk about the seven-figure formula and how it works, and it just made sense. It made sense. So that night, I reached out to Darren and I told him, Darren, this is the truth. I have no money in the bank. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I'm working at the bread factory. My feet hurts, my lower back hurts, and I want to be a man. I want to help my family, and I want out of this bread factory. I want to use my life in another way. Because here's the thing, knowing that I was talking to a current millionaire, I knew that I couldn't bullshit my way through. I needed to just tell him the facts, what's happening to me. So I remember Darren told me, Samuel, it's going to be $1,350 to do it. Can you do it? And my answer was no, but give me some time because I'm going to save the money. I'm going to do whatever it takes to do this. So although I didn't have the money to start, what Darren gave me was a dream. And if you've read Think and Grow Rich from Napoleon Hill, I got a burning desire. I was willing to do whatever it took to save the money because I knew I was sold that if I could just learn the seven-figure formula, I could take care of my family and I could finally step up and be a man. So that's what I did. It took me 4 months to save the money. I remember running up to on social media, digitally running up to Darren, and I said, Darren, I got the money. Give me your link. I'm going to do this. I quit my job that Friday, and by Saturday, I joined Exodus Elite. And I made the biggest decision of my life that left me broke. It left me at 42 cents. So that's it. No job, 42 cents, and there's rent coming up in like 20 days. So I better make something happen. I went all in. So I asked Darren, okay, Darren, what do I do now? So Darren said, Samuel, I want you to look at these training videos, get plugged into the system, and start taking massive action. So that's what I did. I mean, I had nothing else to do. So that's what I did. It took me 4 days, 4 whole days of doing nothing else but watching training videos. And it took me those 4 days because I'm not a genius. I'm an everyday person. So it takes me time to learn stuff, right? After those 4 days, day number 5, I finally had the confidence to do it. On day number 5, I applied the lead generation strategy and I applied the Facebook strategy, and I earned my first $1,000 commission. Now, this was game changing for me because I never earned $1,000 ever in a day. I didn't earn $1,000 at the bread factory until I put in over 70 to 80 hours of work. And I just did it in 2 hours. That's when I knew that it is possible to make money on the internet, that the internet can literally turn your Facebook and turn into an ATM machine as long as you have a millionaire mentor, the right vehicle, and the right strategies. So I had a genius idea. I'm like, what if I did the same thing the next day? I earned another $1,000. What if I did the same thing this whole entire week? I ended my first week at $4,000. What if I just did this for another week? I ended my second week at $10,000. Now I stumbled upon a secret that the more money you make, the more money you make. From week number 2 to week number 3, I went, get this, listen to this. I went from $10,000 to $23,000 in commissions. Now, put it into perspective. The previous year at the bread factory, I made less than $22,000. In 1 month, using the internet as an ATM machine, I earned more in 1 month than I did the whole previous year at the bread factory. That's when I knew I'm never working a job again. I'm like, no, I'm never going to work again. I'm going to do this. Right. So I ended my first month at $23,000, a new man. I remember going downstairs and I told my mom, thank you so much. Thank you so much for believing on me. Because you know what? When I quit my job, everybody gave me shit. My mom, she told me, Sam, I've always believed in you, son. You can do this. And going down and hugging my mom and showing her what I've done in the last 30 days, that was one of the best days of my life. And now I'm here, 3 years later. I've been doing this full time. I'm finally living the life that I want to live. And I'm doing something with my time that I actually want to do. And that's where I'm at today, Darren.
Fantastic, bro.
Time flies.
Super proud of you. Super proud of you. Okay, I just want to actually tune in here real quick to see if there is anybody that has any questions. So let's see who we got here. We've got Mind Bang says, hey team. Stephen, hello, brother Darren. Hello. Okay, let's see. Angeline says, awesome webinar. If you're tuning in right now and you got any questions about anything that we've covered, okay, anything that we've covered, then type something in there. Maybe I covered it all. Maybe you've got like a totally clear picture and you know exactly what you need to do. And quite frankly, I'll be honest with you guys, in the event that you're in one of that 50, okay, you're going to go through a life transformation, okay? And Samuel is a perfect example, okay? He's only a couple of years in, but he's never going to ever have to worry about money ever again for the rest of his life. But this is God's honest truth. He's now creating his own products, okay, with one of my other students, Jay Alfredo, that's made over 300 grand already. So they've now partnered and they're coming out with their own products, okay, just from their own success stories and things that they've personally done. Okay, so one last chance. Any questions? Going once, going twice. Okay, no problem. Okay, so what I would encourage you to do, if you've tuned in here tonight, you've obviously come here for a reason. Okay, you've obviously come here for a reason. And for most people, they're either in the industry right now and they're spinning their wheels. Okay, they're not making any money because they don't have proper mentor, or you got the COVID crisis going on. Okay, and you need to make money like now. Okay, there's no next week, next month, next year. You need to make money today, right? And if you're in a state of transition right now in your life, or you've reached a breaking point, or a combination of those two things, I'm telling you, trust the process. Throw your hat over the wall, click the link below, okay? Get activated prior to the 6th of November so that you can get in to the 3-hour live and interactive Super Sunday. Guys, my name is Darren Little from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. I've got my great friend here, Samuel Mojica, who's a phenomenal leader and testimonial that it definitely does work. He had no marketing experience when he started. He was a brand new newbie. So trust the process, throw your hat over the wall, click the link below, and we'll see you on the 8th of November. Have a great